Greetings, friend. I will show you how to solve hard Sudoku properly, including a secret shortcut that I've used in dozens of hard puzzles and help you solve Sudoku faster. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. So my method is to start off finding restrictions on all the numbers sequentially. Let's look at the ones. You may notice with these two ones and this one, there's only two possibilities for 1 in block 2. So I'll mark that. And then with these ones and this one, there's only two possibilities for 1 in block 6. Can't make any solves yet with those digits, but we'll move on then to the 2's. With the 2's, you might see with the 2's in columns 1 and 3 and the 2 in row 1. Only two places for 2 in block 1. And then with this 2 and this 2, two places for 2 in block 3. And with these 2's, two places for 2 in block 5. Nothing else to do with the 2's yet. Haven't made any solves yet, but don't worry. I'm going to help you get through this puzzle. Check out the 3's. Okay, all these 3's look at block 6. Only two possibilities for 3 right there. And then with the 4's, all these 4's look over here into block 9. And then with the 5's, you might notice there are no 5's that are given in this puzzle, but they are probably the most important digit in the puzzle. And I'll show you why a little later. I want to thank Sulfur for this fun puzzle. It's perfect for showing you a very important concept that help you solve handmade Sudoku puzzles much faster. So let's continue on with the 6's. Okay, with these 6's, you might see there's only two places for a 6 in block 2. Nothing else we can do there. Look at the 7's. We don't have enough restriction. There's 3 possibilities here. I don't mark that using Snyder notation. So we'll move on to the 8's. And then with these 8's, 2 possibilities for an 8 in block 1. And we have 2 possibilities for an 8 here in block 2. And then in block 6 with these 8's, 2 possibilities for an 8 in block 6. And in block 9 with this 8 and these 8's, 2 possibilities for an 8. Still haven't solved any cells yet. Okay, with the 9's, let's check this out. Okay, we got these 2 9's. So 2 9's in block 2. And then in block 6 with this 9. And this 9 and this 9. Got something interesting here. Got the 9's on top of the 3's. So what you found is a nice hidden pair. Since the 3 and 9 got me the same 2 spots, nothing else can be in those 2 cells. Otherwise, you couldn't fit a 3 or 9 in block 6. So nice little hidden pair. I do cover those in my Sudoku solving guide that you can download for free from the pinned comment below. And what else can we do with the 9's? Nothing else there that I see that we can mark. And so there's no solve so far. So we just proved basically this is a tough puzzle to break into. The normal strategies don't work. But the method that I just did does not take into account what the creator of the puzzle intended. I didn't even look at the way the puzzle was set up. I just went through and blindly looked for restrictions. And that's good because you're finding restrictions and this will help you out as you do the solve. This concept of figuring out what the creator of the puzzle intended, that's called intended solve path. And if you can find it, not only will you make the puzzle creator very happy, they love it when people figure out and think the same way they did, you'll also usually find the quickest way to solve the puzzle. And before I show you the next step in this puzzle, I want to hear from you. How often do you look for intended solve path in a puzzle? Please, please share the feedback with other viewers and me. Help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. We are growing so fast, faster than we ever have, and I really want to hear what you have to say. Share with the other viewers. Help us all solve Sudoku much easier because it starts with your feedback. So we got to see, and hopefully what stood out to you when you looked at this puzzle was how there's so many given digits here in rows 6 and 7 and so many given digits here in columns 3 and 4. And so Sulfur puts all those digits in there. He wants you to look in these cells here. So what can these 2 cells be? Can't be a 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to be a 3 or a 5. Okay, no big deal until you go right here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to be a 4 or a 5. Okay? There's something going on here. And I'll get right back to that. Let's finish row 6 and 7. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 in row 6. So this has to be a 5 or 6. Okay? And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. This has to be a 5 or 7. Now, did you notice that all of these rows and columns, they're still missing 5s, right? And this is where it's really, really cool. Since the 5 can only be in 2 spots here in column 3 and only 2 spots here in column 4, we know the 5 has to be either here and here or here and here. And so what we have found is a Sudoku X-wing. Because it's a conjugate pair right there, right? The 5's going to be there. If it's not there, it has to be there. But it's a very small X-wing because it's really only between 2 digits. But the same 2 digits here in rows. In row 3, the 5s are limited. Actually, in column 4, the 5s are limited to rows 3 and 4. Same as they are in column 3. So you know, 5 has to be there and there or there and there. Which means you can eliminate a 5 from any other cell in those 2 rows. 5 can't be here. If you put a 5 there, then you end up having to put 5 going on the same row in these columns. And that's not going to work. So you can't put a 5 there either, or in any of these cells, or in any of these cells. Great. Now, that by itself helps us a little bit. But now, take into account that you have 5s are limited to columns 6 and 7 in row 6 and in row 7. So now we also know the 5s have to be here and here or here and here. So you have another Sudoku X-wing. And this time the 5s can't be here. They can't be here. They couldn't be here because of the 3, 9. They can't be in any of these spots. And you're like, okay, what's the big deal? This is the intended solve path. This is what Sulfur wanted you to see. And he put so many digits in these rows and columns that you'd have to see this X-wing. And then the other neat thing, a very good setter like Sulfur will make it impossible to bypass this. Like you can't really look around and do another strategy. We just went and found restrictions. There's no other way around finding this X-wing. But the X-wing is actually a not hard one to spot if you just fill out these rows and columns. The main thing here is now where can a 5 be here in block 3? It can't be here and here because of this X-wing of 5s. It also can't be here and here because of this X-wing of 5s. So the only place a 5 can go in block 3 is right here. This is beautiful. And that is just the start, right? We just solved our first digit. And in order to make more progress, you have to look at the impact that this 5 has on the row, the column, and the block. Most importantly, the block. Because now, where can a 1 go in block 3? Because of this one, it can't be here. So the 1s have to be in one of these 2 spots. This is a pointing pair of 1s. And since you have a pointing pair of 1s, a 1 can't be anywhere else outside of that block in that row. If you put a 1 here, no place to put a 1 in block 3. This is beautiful, because now you can remove this for a 1 and solve this cell for a 1, which displaces that Snyder 8, displacing that Snyder 9. And this is lovely because the next solves, they just flow so well the way Sulfur did this. Because with your existing marks that we found with the restrictions, these marks are not going to be wasted. In fact, they just clue you in into the restrictions that are lifted with each subsequent solve. So as we solve something, it lifts another restriction, we can make another solve. So like with this 8, you can displace that Snyder 8, solve this cell for an 8, displacing that Snyder 2, and you make another solve. Okay, and then you can displace that Snyder 2 and solve this cell for a 2 in block 3. Nice. And now in block 1, with this 7 right here, you end up having a nice pointing pair of 7s that we didn't have before, which means the 7 can't be in this spot anymore. 7s have to be here, which makes this a nice 1, 7 hidden pair. So the only digit left in block 3 is a 4, and the 4 has to go right there. Nice. And now we can create this as a nice 5, 7 naked pair. And since this has to be a 5, 7 naked pair, this can't be a 5 anymore. You see how this works? And so you just want to continue on solving and removing marks as you move. And I just love the point where I'm removing a bunch of the marks I made and just decluttering the grid, because it knows that I'm on the right solve path. So this can't be a 5, that has to be a 3, because the 5s have to be in one of these two cells now, which means that's a 5, which means that's a 5, that's a 4. So our X-wing of 5s in columns 3 and 4 are right there. Nice. And what else can we do? So that's a 5, 7. This has to be your 4. That's the only place the 4 can go. And if you look across row 2 now this has to be your 3. That's the only place that 3 can go. And then with these two 3s, you can solve for 3 right there. Nice. And so we're making some more progress here. And then with these 4s, the only place a 4 can go in block 4 is right there. Nice. And then with this 4, you can displace that Snyder 4, solve this cell for a 4, displacing the Snyder 8, and removing more marks. And now you can remove that, displace that Snyder, and solve that cell 4 and 8. Beautiful. Okay, but we're not done, because we still got some more great solves in this puzzle. And so we know we need a 4 and a 6 here to finish block 2. You always want to look where there's a greatest restriction. I call them the heavy houses. Since there's only 2 cells remaining, it's got at least 5 filled in. This is a good place to look, because now that 4 means the 4 has to go here in block 2, displacing that Snyder 6. And now you can disambiguate the 5, 6 in row 6. And with this 5, you know that's got to be your 5, 7 in row 7. And so we figured out where the 5s had to be for those X-wings. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, where else can we take this? Well, 3 9's right there. The only digit that we don't have in column 7 now is a 7. So we can mark that for a 7. And I'm going to look for the restrictions here. We just need a 2 or a 6. Well, I got the 2 there. I also have the 6 there. So either way works. There's your 2, there's your 6. Nice. Can we do that to create some more solves? And sure enough, with this 2, now that has to be your 2, and I don't see a 5 in block 8, right? Remember, we started with a deficit of 5s, and so we're trying to fill out all those 5s again. In fact, with these 5s and this 5, you can solve for 5 right there, displacing that Snyder 1, allowing you to disambiguate the 1, 7 right there. Beautiful. And then you can solve this cell now for a 7. Okay, and then with these 7s and this 7, you can solve this cell for 7. Looking good. And then we can move on and get a few more solves here. So maybe you want to look here in row 9. You have a 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Need a 3 or 7. Actually can't solve that yet. Maybe that wasn't where I need to look for the quickest solve. How about we start with this 2? Whenever you're worried, just kind of look back to where your marks are and see if you can remove a couple of those. So we can remove that mark. This creates a full house now. So we're going to have a guaranteed solve in column 5. This has to be a 6 now. Okay, and that's a 6, that has to be a 9. Now you can disambiguate the 3, 9 right there. I don't see a 3 here in block 4, so that's got to be your 3. This is going to be your 6. Awesome, and now you can disambiguate the 7, and you're going to be able to solve a 3 in the corner, bump, 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 throughout the month of December. You're going to get those nice snowflakes, which is really cool. And with this 7, that's a 7, that's a 5. I don't see a 5 in block 7, so you can solve the 5 there. And our last digit is a 6. Using the techniques you just learned, see if you can properly solve this next puzzle by sulfur. Thank you so much for watching.